December 29, 1972. The holiday season is winding down, and New York's John F. Kennedy Airport is alive with the energy of travelers. Some are returning home. Others are setting out on vacations. Among them, 163 passengers and 13 crew members prepare to board Eastern Airlines Flight 401, a routine trip to Miami. But as they step onto the sleek Lockheed L-10 11th TriStar, they are unaware that this flight will soon enter the annals of aviation history, not for its success, but for a tragedy that will haunt the skies forever. The clock ticks past 9 p.m. Flight 401, under the command of Captain Robert Loft, begins its journey. With over 340 hours of combined flight experience, Captain Loft, First Officer Albert Stockstill, and Flight Engineer Don Rapo form a seasoned crew. The aircraft, hailed as one of the safest of its time, seems ready for the smooth ride ahead. But beneath the surface of this confidence, the threads of fate are weaving a story of despair and mystery. The flight soars into the crisp winter sky, leaving behind the lights of New York City. Inside the cabin, passengers settle into their seats. A couple excitedly discusses their plans in sunny Florida, while others doze off, lulled by the soft hum of the engines. Everything seems perfect, yet a sense of calm often precedes the storm, a truth that will soon unravel at 200 feet. As the plane approaches Miami International Airport, the crew begins their descent. The pilots check their instruments and the passengers prepare for landing. The city lights shimmer below, promising warmth and safety. But as the landing gear is deployed, an unexpected warning light flickers, signaling a potential malfunction. What starts as a small glitch will soon escalate into a catastrophic chain of events. The green indicator light that confirms the landing gear is locked fails to illuminate. Concerned, Captain Loft instructs First Officer Stockstill to investigate. Is it a real issue with the gear or just a faulty bulb? The crew decides to circle the Everglades while troubleshooting the problem, unaware that their focus on this single warning will divert attention from far more pressing matters. Time seems to slow as the crew examines the issue. They dismantle the small panel housing the bulb, passing it back and forth as they discuss the next steps. The flight engineer descends into the avionics bay to visually check the landing gear. Meanwhile, the autopilot, set to maintain altitude, quietly disengages. An unnoticed change with deadly consequences. Unbeknownst to the crew, the aircraft is slowly losing altitude. Focused entirely on the malfunctioning light, no one notices the warning chime signaling the descent. Outside, the pitch-black Everglades stretch endlessly, a silent witness to the impending disaster. The aircraft's advanced warning systems try to alert the crew. A flashing light and a quiet alarm signal the decreasing altitude. But in the chaos of troubleshooting, these warnings go unheard. The passengers remain blissfully unaware, their fate sealed by a simple oversight. At 11:42 p.m., Flight 401 collides with the Florida Everglades at 227 miles per hour. The impact shatters the aircraft, scattering debris across the murky waters. The tranquil night is pierced by the sound of destruction, followed by cries for help as survivors struggle to escape the wreckage. In the heart of the Everglades, the crash site is a chaotic blend of jagged metal and murky water. Survivors cling to the fragments of the shattered aircraft, their cries echoing into the vast, desolate swamp. Despite the darkness, acts of heroism emerge. Passengers helping each other, using anything they can find to keep afloat. The stillness of the Everglades is replaced by a grim symphony of human struggle and despair. Rescue teams from Miami are dispatched quickly, but the remoteness of the Everglades poses a significant challenge. Helicopters hover overhead, their searchlights cutting through the darkness. Boats navigate the murky waters, their crews risking everything to locate survivors. The eerie landscape, filled with crocodiles and snakes, adds another layer of peril to the mission. For the survivors, each passing moment feels like an eternity as help inches closer. Of the 176 people aboard Flight 441, only 75 survive. the swamp claims the lives of 101 passengers and crew. As medics work tirelessly to stabilize the injured, the reality of the disaster sets in. Families are torn apart, and the survivors are left grappling with both physical and emotional scars. Yet amidst the tragedy, stories of resilience and bravery begin to emerge, setting the stage for the haunting tales to come. Months after the crash, strange reports begin to surface. Eastern Airlines mechanics and crew members claim to hear voices and see figures aboard other planes in the fleet. Most chilling are the accounts of Captain Robert Loft and flight engineer Don Repo appearing, warning of impending malfunctions. Could their spirits be protecting others from suffering the same fate? Or is it something far darker? On a routine flight, a stewardess notices something unusual. The reflection of a man in the galley oven door. When she turns, no one is there. Later, she identifies the man as Captain Loft, whose image she recognizes from photos of the ill-fated Flight 401. The story spreads, sparking debates about the line between fact and fiction, and whether trauma can manifest in inexplicable ways. In one chilling account, a pilot preparing for takeoff encounters Don Repo's ghost in the cockpit. The apparition points to a malfunctioning gauge, saving the flight from a potential disaster. While skeptics dismiss the tales as mere superstition, others see these events as acts of redemption by the spirits of Flight 401. An investigation reveals a possible connection. Parts salvaged from the wreckage of Flight 401 had been installed on other aircraft in the fleet. Could these artifacts carry the memories or spirits of those lost in the crash? For many employees, the answer seems to lie in the ghostly encounters that persist. Eastern Airlines, facing mounting reports of paranormal activity, chooses to remain silent. Employees are warned not to discuss the incidents publicly, but whispers among the staff grow louder. The company's attempt to maintain its reputation only fuels the intrigue surrounding Flight 421. Flight 421. Passengers, too, begin to share eerie experiences. Some report feeling an unseen presence or hearing whispers in empty aisles. A sense of unease spreads among frequent flyers, transforming routine journeys into nerve-wracking experiences. For those who knew the Flight 411 tragedy, the stories carry an unsettling familiarity. Journalists and paranormal investigators delve into the mysterious accounts documenting the phenomena. Some believe the stories are manifestations of collective grief, while others see them as evidence of life beyond death. The haunting tales of Flight 411 become a topic of fascination, blending tragedy with the supernatural. In a controversial decision, Eastern Airlines removes all salvaged parts from its fleet. Afterward, the reports of ghostly sightings dwindle, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions. Were the spirits truly tied to the physical remnants of Flight 401, or was this merely a coincidence? Years later, the story of Flight 401 remains a powerful reminder of human fragility and the mysteries of existence. Survivors and families gather at the crash site to honor the lives lost, their reflections rippling across the water. For many, the tragedy is not just a story of loss but also one of resilience and enduring love. The haunting of Flight 411 is more than a ghost story. It's a testament to the human spirit. In the face of unimaginable loss, acts of courage and the search for meaning endure. As aircraft take to the skies every day, the lessons of Flight 411 remind us to balance technology with vigilance and to hold on to the connections that make us truly human.